Today's story is about rising tensions between the United States and Iran after strong and unusual comments from Donald Trump aimed directly at Iran's top leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. This warning has caught global attention because it touches on leadership, military power, and the risk of a much bigger conflict. Over the past few weeks, tensions between the United States and Iran have been rising again. The two countries are officially enemies and have had decades of conflict. Recently, the US increased its military presence in the Middle East. This included sending more naval forces and warning Iran against aggressive actions. At the same time, there were indirect talks happening, with mediators trying to prevent the situation from getting worse. In the middle of this tense moment, Donald Trump made a public statement that shocked many observers. Instead of speaking generally about Iran, he spoke directly about Iran's supreme leader. That is a very rare and serious move. Donald Trump said that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei should be very worried. He did not say this quietly or privately. He said it publicly, knowing the world would hear it. Trump strongly suggested that the US knows far more about Iran's leadership than Iran might expect. Many analysts interpreted this as a message that the US knows where Iran's top leader is located and is watching closely. Trump did not openly threaten an attack, but the tone was clear. It was a warning meant to apply pressure. It was also meant to show strength. In past statements, Trump has said that Iran's leadership is responsible for instability, violence, and economic suffering in the region. This latest comment continues that message, but in a more personal and direct way. Khamenei is not just a political leader, he is the most powerful person in Iran. He controls the military, the judiciary, and major political decisions. Any comment that directly mentions him is taken extremely seriously inside Iran. Iran quickly responded by saying that any threat to its supreme leader would be considered an attack on the nation itself. Iranian officials warned that such actions would lead to massive retaliation. This exchange alone raised fears that words could turn into action. There are several reasons behind Trump's warning. First, the nuclear issue. The US believes Iran is getting closer to having the ability to build a nuclear weapon. Iran denies this and says its nuclear program is peaceful. Trump has always taken a hard line on Iran's nuclear activities. Second, regional influence. Iran supports armed groups in several Middle Eastern countries. The US sees these groups as threats to its allies and to regional stability. Trump wants Iran to reduce this influence. Third, pressure tactics. Trump is known for using strong language to force negotiations. By issuing a warning, he may be trying to scare Iran into making concessions at the negotiating table. Fourth, domestic politics. Strong foreign policy language often plays well with Trump's supporters. It reinforces his image as a tough leader who does not back down. Iran is also under pressure at home. The country has faced economic hardship, sanctions, and public protests. Many Iranians are frustrated with inflation, unemployment, and government restrictions. These internal problems make Iran's leadership more sensitive to outside threats. Trump's warning hits Iran at a time when it is already struggling. That increases tension even more. This situation could go in several directions. The first possibility is diplomacy. Despite the harsh words, both sides may still choose talks over conflict. Strong language does not always mean war. The second possibility is escalation. More threats could lead to military clashes, even if unplanned. One mistake or misunderstanding could spiral quickly. The third possibility is regional instability. If conflict breaks out, it would not stay between just the US and Iran. Other countries in the Middle East could be pulled in. The fourth possibility is economic impact. Any conflict in the Middle East can affect global oil prices and markets worldwide. Even the fear of war can cause economic shockwaves. This is not just a US and Iran issue. Many countries depend on stability in the Middle East. Energy supplies, trade routes, and security are all at stake. When leaders use strong language, markets react, governments react, and ordinary people feel the consequences. That's why Trump's words matter far beyond Washington or Tehran. Donald Trump issued a strong and personal warning to Iran's supreme leader. He did this during a moment of high tension and military pressure. The warning was likely meant to intimidate, pressure, and influence negotiations. Iran responded with defiance and strong language of its own. Right now, the situation is tense but controlled. The danger is that words can quickly turn into action. What happens next depends on whether both sides choose diplomacy or escalation. The world is watching closely, because when powerful leaders talk this way, the consequences can be global.